Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you setting up my tube feeds. It doesn't take very long compared to my fluids. I do this 3 times a day. So first off we have the feed. So I'm on Elemental O28 Extra, which is a powder you mix with water. So because I have a jejunostomy rather than a gastrostomy, I have to make it up with sterile water. Everything I use has to be sterile because there's no acid barrier in your bowel like there is in your stomach, so it doesn't kill bacteria and you can get infections pretty easily. I've had a couple of infections, bowel infections from something contaminated, and it's really not for me, do not want it. So I'm really careful now with all my sterile water, sterile syringes, sterile bottles I keep my water in, everything. So I have 3 of these a day. I don't use the whole amount, I use about half, and I change it 3 times a day. So I'm just going to go through doing it. So I've already flushed my tube, that's the first thing to do, just to make sure the tube is patent. So then we need our pump. So I'm with Nutritia, so I've got the Flowcare Infinity pump. I have used the Abbott pump in hospital and I much prefer the Nutritia one. It's just so much easier to use and it's much more compact. So first thing we're going to do is turn the pump on. So it'll go through its serial number. I'm just doing its little checks, and then it's on history, so there's no history. I cleared it when I finished my last feed. So first things we're going to do is open up the giving set. So the giving set is the tubing that runs from the bottle through the pump and into me. So we need the shorter length, which is this one, to screw into the bottle. So you take the little cap off, take the cap off the bottle, and without touching either of the ends, you just screw the giving set into the bottle, to the cap. And then we're going to hang the feed on the drip stand. I normally use a backpack, but it's just easier to put it on here to show you what I'm doing. So then we're going to open up the door, put the giving set around the little black roller and pull it tight through the air and pressure detectors. And we're going to close that. So next thing I'm going to do is press the fill set. So press that and hold it down until it beeps. And just wait for it to fill the tubing with feed. Okay, so it's automatically stopped, but it's a little bit far from the end, so it's here, so we need to fill this. So press fill set again, and then we're going to press fill set to stop it when it reaches the end up here. So we're nearly there. There we go. So last thing to do is take the cap off the end. Again, being careful not to touch it. Make sure the clamp is closed on the feeding tube. Open the end of the feeding tube and screw the giving set into the end and open the clamp, and then we press start. And there we have it, simple as that. I'm just going to go through a couple more things to do with my feed. So the first thing we're going to go through is making up some feed. So I've got my empty container, my sachet of feed, and my sterile water in my kettle. So I use cooled boiled water. I don't get supplied with sterile water. It just seems to vary from trust to trust. That's how it's done here. So what we're going to do is, again with clean hands, as with everything to do with the tube, open up the bottle, unscrew the lid, and I'm going to pour 375 ml of sterile water into the bottle. Okay, and then I'm going to add the contents of this sachet. I'm going to add the whole sachet. So I make up a full amount, even though I only use about half, just because it gets a bit complicated otherwise, trying to weigh out the sachets and work out how much water to how much powder, and it's just all a bit of a pain, so I just make a full one up each time. Some people weigh it out and divide the doses and that kind of thing. Sometimes I will just make one up and divide it into 2 bottles, but this one is my nighttime bottle, so I only make one for the nighttime. At bedtime I make 2 up for the next day, and then I have just the one, so I have 3 bottles a day. So lid is on. Next up, shake it. There we go, so that looks nice and well mixed. So it just goes straight into the fridge, and then I'll use that overnight. So next up is taking medication. This is something I do anywhere between 3 and 5 times a day, depending on the day, how I'm feeling, that kind of thing. So we've got our tablet medication dissolved in here. I just need to give it a bit of a swirl. So to put it down the tube, it's dead simple. So on the tube there's this little clamp, and that is to stop backflow. So you want to make sure that that is closed, and then unscrew the little cap, screw the syringe into the tubing, just give it another little shake because it's separated a bit again, and just slowly push it down through the tube once you've opened the clamp, and then close the clamp and unscrew. So next up I'm going to do my liquid medications. So just get the lids off. Easier said than done. There we go. So I'm going to draw that up into the syringe. My bottles have these little caps that I buy. So a syringe attaches straight to them, and you just draw it up straight out of the bottle rather than having to faff about pouring into medicine cups or trying to get a syringe in a bottle, and it gets all sticky, and it's just so much easier. So again, we're going to unscrew, screw the syringe in, click the clamp open, put the medication down, close the clamp and unscrew. And we'll just do it one more time. Okay, and then I need to flush the tube. So I use these little bottles, I'll show you in a minute. They're called Sterifeed bottles. I just buy them off Amazon. I'm sure you can get them from some pharmaceutical companies. They are sterilisable little bottles. They come in a couple of different sizes. I've got some bigger ones that hold, I think, 200 mils, and then I've got these ones that hold 130 mils, and they're just the perfect size for out and about. Like I said, they're sterilisable, so that's great for me because I sterilise all my water bottles, all my medicine cups, my syringes, everything like that. So yeah, they work out really well for me. I think that's everything for my tube feeds now, apart from cleaning and dressing, but I did that in my day in the life video, so if you want to check that out, check out my day in the life video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!